My fiancée said, I can't say no to him. He was my first love. Then she left me 2 months before the wedding to be with her high school ex. Last week she showed up at my door sobbing after he was caught cheating with her sister. Hey viewers, just a quick thanks. Over 14% of you are already subscribed, and it means the world. If you're new here and enjoy these stories, join the family by hitting that subscribe button. We're on the road to 10,000. Alright, look, this whole situation has gotten completely out of hand and people keep asking for updates, so here's what happened. I'm Jake, 28, work as a marine biologist. Was engaged to Chloe, also 28, who teaches kindergarten. We'd been together 4 years, engaged for 1. Wedding was supposed to be this past March. Everything seemed fine until January when Chloe started acting weird. Staying late at school, always on her phone, giving short answers when I asked about her day. Classic signs, but I figured she was stressed about the wedding planning. Then one night she comes home and drops this bomb. Jake, I need to tell you something. Derek reached out to me. Derek, her high school boyfriend from like 10 years ago. The guy she dated for 2 years before college, lost her virginity to, all that first love garbage. I'd heard stories but figured it was ancient history. Okay, what did he want? He's getting divorced, asked if we could meet up to talk. Red flags everywhere, but I tried to stay calm. What did you tell him? I said yes, we're having coffee tomorrow. Coffee, with her ex, 2 months before our wedding. Chloe, that seems inappropriate. He's going through a hard time. I can't just ignore him when he needs support. He has friends and family for support. You're getting married. Jake, don't be controlling. Derek was a huge part of my life. I care about him as a friend. Friend, right. So she went to coffee, came home glowing like she'd won the lottery. Said Derek was doing great, getting his life back together, starting a new business. Kept talking about how mature he'd become. This coffee meeting turned into weekly coffee meetings, then texts throughout the day, then phone calls that she'd take outside or in the other room. I confronted her about it. Chloe, this is getting excessive. What's excessive about maintaining friendships? When did Derek become such an important friend? You haven't talked to him in years. People reconnect. It doesn't mean anything romantic. Then why are you hiding the phone calls? I'm not hiding anything. I just prefer privacy when I'm talking to friends. Privacy. While planning our wedding, things got worse. Chloe started comparing everything to what Derek was doing. Derek's new apartment, Derek's business plans, Derek's workout routine. Everything was Derek this, Derek that. Our wedding planning basically stopped. Chloe said she was too stressed to make decisions, but she had plenty of energy to text Derek all day. The final conversation happened on a Tuesday night in February. Chloe came home from drinks with the girls at like 11 p.m. I was worried since we usually share locations for safety, and when I checked earlier, she was at some restaurant across town, not where her friends usually go. How were drinks? Fine, just the usual drama. Which restaurant did you go to? She froze. Why does it matter? Just curious. We went to that place downtown. You know, the one with the patio. I pulled out my phone and showed her the location sharing. This restaurant, the one that's nowhere near downtown? Chloe's face went white. Jake, I can explain. Were you with Derek? Long pause. Yes. So you lied about girls' night to go on a date with your ex-boyfriend. It wasn't a date. We just grabbed dinner and talked. Dinner. Alone, while lying to your fiancé. I knew you'd react like this. React like what? Like someone whose fiancé is sneaking around with her ex? Derek and I are just friends. Friends don't require lying and sneaking around. That's when she said it. Jake, you don't understand. Derek was my first love. When he calls, I can't just say no to him. Can't say no to him. 2 months before our wedding. What does that mean, Chloe? It means our history is complicated. What we had was special. More special than what we have. She couldn't answer that. Just stood there looking guilty. Chloe, are you in love with Derek? I don't know. Maybe. It's confusing. Maybe she was in love with her ex, 6 weeks before marrying me. Then I think you need to figure that out before we get married. Jake, please don't make this an ultimatum. I'm not making it anything. You just told me you can't say no to your first love and might be in love with him. That's not ultimatum territory. That's reality. I need time to think. How much time? I don't know. I looked at this woman I was supposed to marry in 6 weeks. The woman who couldn't say no to her ex-boyfriend and might be in love with him. Take all the time you need, Chloe. But this is my apartment, so you'll need to do your thinking somewhere else. What? Pack a bag. Go stay with your sister or your parents. Figure out what you want. Jake, you can't kick me out. It's my lease, Chloe. You moved in with me 2 years ago. I'm not kicking you out. I'm giving you space to decide between me and Derek without having to sneak around. That's not fair. What's not fair is you emotionally cheating on me with your ex while planning our wedding. Chloe packed a bag that night. Said she'd be back in a few days once she sorted out her feelings. She never came back. 3 days later, she called. Jake, I think we should postpone the wedding. Postpone or cancel? Postpone. I need more time to figure things out with Derek. Figure what out exactly? Whether what we had was real or just nostalgia. And you need to be single to figure that out. I need to explore my feelings without the pressure of a wedding. Explore her feelings with her ex-boyfriend. Chloe, if you want to explore feelings with Derek, we're done. No postponing, no breaks, done. Jake, please don't be like this. Be like what? Someone who won't wait around while his fiancée dates her ex. I'm not dating him. What would you call it? I'm trying to understand my feelings. Understanding your feelings by going on dates and lying to me. It's not that simple. It's exactly that simple. You want Derek more than you want our wedding, so go be with Derek. I never said I wanted Derek more. You said you can't say no to him. You said you might be in love with him. You've been lying and sneaking around for weeks. What else is there to say? I love you too. Not enough, apparently. I hung up. 2 weeks later, Chloe made it official. Called to say she was exploring a relationship with Derek and we should cancel the wedding. So you chose him. I chose to see what could be. Derek and I have unfinished business, and now it's finished. Jake, I hope we can be friends someday. We can't. I spent the next month canceling wedding vendors, returning deposits where possible, and dealing with the mess Chloe left behind. Lost about 15 grand total, but at least I wasn't married to someone who couldn't say no to her ex. Heard through mutual friends that Chloe and Derek were playing house in his new apartment. Saw some social media posts through friends' stories of them at fancy restaurants, weekend trips, the whole romantic reunion fantasy. Good for them. That was 6 months ago. Haven't talked to Chloe since. Moved on with my life, started dating again, focused on work. The whole thing felt like a bullet dodged. Until last week. I'm watching Netflix on a Tuesday night when someone starts pounding on my door. Aggressive knocking like there's an emergency. I look through the peephole and see Chloe standing there crying her eyes out. Haven't seen her in 6 months, and she looks rough. Hair a mess, makeup running, red puffy eyes like she's been crying for hours. Against my better judgment, I open the door. Jake, thank God you're home. What do you want, Chloe? Can I come in? Please, I need to talk to you. Talk about what? About Derek, about everything. I made a huge mistake. Of course she did. What happened? He cheated on me. With Brianna. Brianna, her younger sister, the one who was supposed to be her maid of honor at our wedding. Derek cheated on you with your sister? I caught them together last weekend. In our bed. Our bed, Jake. She was sobbing uncontrollably now. Part of me felt bad for her, but mostly I felt vindicated. I'm sorry that happened. No, you're not. You're right, I'm not. You left me for him. This is what you chose. I didn't choose this. I thought what Derek and I had was real. Apparently it was real. Real enough for him to bang your sister. Jake, please don't be cruel. I'm falling apart here. Why are you telling me this? Because I realize now that what you and I had was real. Derek was just nostalgia and fantasy. You were my actual future. My actual future. After 6 months of playing house with her high school ex, Chloe, you made your choice. I made the wrong choice. I see that now. Great, learn from it. Jake, please, can we try again? I know I hurt you, but I've learned my lesson. Your lesson being what exactly? That first love isn't always true love. That mature love is better than passionate love. That I should have chosen stability over excitement. She was literally describing me as the boring, stable option compared to exciting Derek. So I'm the safe choice? You're the right choice. After Derek rejected you by sleeping with your sister. That's not why I'm here. Then why are you here? Because I love you. Because I realized what we had was special. What we had was special. Past tense. You threw it away for your high school ex. I can't change what I did, but I can try to make it right. How? We can start over, take it slow, rebuild what we had. I looked at this woman standing on my doorstep. 6 months ago, she couldn't say no to her first love. Now she was begging me to take her back because that first love had cheated on her with her sister. Chloe, what makes you think I'd want to restart anything with you? Because we were good together. Because you loved me. I did love you. Then you left me for Derek. I made a mistake. You made a choice. Derek over me, excitement over stability, first love over real love. It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that. You said you couldn't say no to him. You said you might be in love with him. You chose to explore that instead of marrying me. I was confused. You weren't confused. You were selfish. You wanted to keep me as backup while you tested the waters with Derek. That's not true. Then why didn't you break up with me before exploring things with Derek? She couldn't answer that. Black Chloe, you tried to have both. When I forced you to choose, you chose Derek. Now Derek's shown you who he really is, and you want your backup plan back. You're not a backup plan. I'm exactly a backup plan. Derek was your first choice until he proved he's garbage. Now you want the safe option you threw away. Jake, please, I know I hurt you, but people make mistakes. Some mistakes show who you really are. You showed me that when things got complicated, you'd run to your ex instead of working on our relationship. I've changed. Have you? What happens when the next Derek shows up? When the next first love reaches out? There won't be a next Derek. There's always a next Derek, another ex, another exciting option, another test of whether you can say no. I would never do this again. You said you couldn't say no to Derek? That suggests a pattern. That was specific to Derek. Was it, or do you just get weak when someone from your past wants attention? She was crying harder now. Jake, I'm begging you. Give me another chance. I gave you a chance. 4 years and an engagement ring. You traded it for 6 months with Derek. It was a mistake. It was a choice, and choices have consequences. So that's it? You won't even consider it? Consider what? Dating someone who left me for her ex and only came back when he cheated on her with her sister? When you put it like that, that's exactly what happened. You chose Derek over our wedding. Derek chose your sister over you. Now you want me to choose you over my self-respect. It's not about self-respect. It's entirely about self-respect. What kind of man takes back a woman who left him for her high school ex? A forgiving man. A foolish man. I stepped back toward my door. Chloe, I'm sorry Derek hurt you. I'm sorry your sister betrayed you. But that's not my problem anymore. Jake, wait. Good luck figuring things out. Just don't involve me in the process. I closed the door and locked it. Chloe stood outside crying for another 10 minutes before finally leaving. She's texted a few times since then, apologizing, explaining, begging for another conversation. I haven't responded. Derek apparently moved in with Brianna after Chloe caught them. Chloe's staying with her parents and threatening to never speak to her sister again. The whole family's imploded over this mess. Their parents are mostly furious at Brianna since she knowingly went after her sister's boyfriend, but they're disappointed in Chloe too for the whole situation. Brianna's getting death threats from Chloe's friends. Derek's just enjoying the drama from what I hear. Meanwhile, I'm living my life in peace, dating someone new who doesn't have any exes she can't say no to. Someone who thinks loyalty matters more than nostalgia. Chloe wanted to explore her feelings with her first love. Well, she explored them thoroughly. Learned that first love doesn't mean lasting love. That excitement fades but character matters forever. Too bad she had to destroy our relationship to figure that out. She couldn't say no to Derek when he called. I couldn't say yes to her when she came crawling back. Sometimes the answer you give defines who you are.